So hello. Hello, my storms. And today we're going to do some spooky art. There. I wish I was keeping up with doing all the pictures. I wanted to do them once a day. I haven't been keeping up with it, but I have been drawing some stuff in my sketchbook. Oh my goodness.
Don't mistake your manager or supervisor for work.
Yes, please. Please don't. Oh my god. 17 days left for raising some stuff for the Smasher Pass. And we are already 76% raised. There's 17 days left on it. I fear my community. You know what? YouTubers don't talk about this, but the one fear I have now is I fear my community. Why? Yeah, you are the ones to truly fear. I've talked about this before, but you all are truly the ones to fear and everything. Yes, I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree, because I don't think many people shut the fuck up. I don't think many people really understand just how crazy this chat can be sometimes, and how unhinged I can be. And I will reiterate, some people have come in and and just gone, wow, you're pretty unhinged. I'm like, yeah, I am. I try and, you know, there are things that I don't say on stream, of course, because I don't want to be too unhinged, because there's a limit. I know there's a limit. But god damn, I know what, I hold myself back a lot, and then chat comes in here and goes, no. What does that mean? Is on her way. Gotta. Oh my god. Go and enjoy D&D, Jose. Go have fun with D&D. And I'll just be here, my little void of nothingness. No. Has anyone ever realized that, like, my background has always been a void? It's like a void of nothingness. And I feel like a lot of people fall into the void, you know? There's just a void here.
We all unhinged together.
Yes, we all are unhinged together, aren't we, George? You're joining us for Tyrannia's Dragons and Strahd. Yes, I will be, but we'll have to. I don't know what day we'll do it, cause I mean, my Monday streams I can always move to like later in the day, if we want to still continue on Monday.
Immune the void.
Immune the void. Yeah, we're always in this void, but I can't wait for my new upgrade. I kind of hinted at my new chatting. It's now gonna be like a temple, like a gothic like temple kind of thing. Eventually I do want to actually get a really good background artist to actually do the background. But for what it's worth and what I did with it, I think it's good enough, right? I think it's good enough. I love how it turned out. It's exactly what I pictured. It's actually the second time I made that, because I made an entire chatting and then I decided to make a new one. So, bye for real now. Yeah. Go and do what you need to do. But I will say, for the most part, I try and make everything myself in my stream. Very rarely do I commission anybody. I think the only time that I may commission something of any sort is probably maybe if I really want to get like a custom like chat. So you know how like chat currently is, and like with the bubbles and stuff. I want to do something like a specialty besides just what I have. I don't know. I want to do something a little special. I want to make it all look like your names are in little clouds. That's literally it. That's all I want to do. I just want to make it look like it's clouds. I want to really go for like the whole entire theming. Because I am supposed to be a storm deity. I'm just wearing I'm wearing my Halloween outfit right now, where I'm supposed to be like a werewolf princess. Honestly, I don't think anyone can tell what I am, but I think if you play Monster Hunter, you know what it is. Only true Monster Hunter Rise fans know what I'm dressed up as. It's very blue. I love blue. I love the color blue. I try to incorporate more blue into my art now, and when I do stuff, I'm like, blue, please, blue be in my stuff. I love the color blue. A lot of people are surprised, but then I'm like, look at the gradient in my hair. What's the first thing? It's blue. I may have a lot of purple, but my favorite color is blue. What does that say as a person? What does that say? A lot of people say that blue is a very trustworthy color. And I just look at it, I'm just like, are you sure that blue is a trustworthy color? Because there are some people that can say like, nah, I'm not very trustworthy. No, I am. But also I think like I'm a pretty cool person. And when I look at blue, I just like it calms my nerves or something like that. I don't know. I like the color blue. Eventually I do want to paint one wall of my office as blue. I don't think that'll ever happen though, but one day I will have an accent wall that's painted blue that I can see every day. And so I can, because all of it is just white. My entire house is painted white. And I'm like, I want color. And my mom's just like, well, we have a bunch of paintings up. I'm like, I want color on the walls, mother. Not just the pictures or the paintings that are up there. No. I want actual color on the fucking walls. Not this, like, almost as if we are going into blinding heaven. Jesus. But yeah, that's how my house is. Anyways, let me see. Boop doop boop boop. But yeah. Anyways, today you're probably wondering what spooky reimagining are we gonna do? We're gonna do a ghost today. I think a ghost is just like super classical, and considering that like last week we basically did like very classic horror monsters, I think this week I want to focus on like also kind of like classic ones. So today we're gonna do a ghost, and then because actually I'm doing a lot of female ones, because we have like we started off with a male vampire and a male Frankenstein, and then I eventually with the creature from the Black Lagoon, which I cannot show on stream. I will clarify this: the creature from the Black Lagoon I cannot show on stream ever, and there's a reason for that, because she's nude. If you want to go and see it, your best bet is to go onto VGen, and I do have always a link in the description if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're watching here on Twitch, it is linked. And eventually, I think in here it will pop up with the commissions. You click on that, and it will have a profile button right next to it, or no, not a profile, a portfolio button, and you click on that, and there you go. There you go. It'll be in there. You don't have to scroll down very far to see it. But I did mark it for nudity because there's titty out. If you are in the Discord, you can view it as well, but I do put a warning. It does have a warning over it, but my Discord is 18 plus technically, so. What the heck is on my sock? Oh my god. I somehow tracked in like one of those like pricker seeds, and it was on my sock, and I was trying to figure out why the heck my foot was in pain. Oh, at least you figured it out. Anyways, so if you want to go and see like last week's collection, those 3 are already up. But this week, the 3 I want to do this week is gonna be this ghost. I'm debating on whether or not to do kind of like a pumpkin head kind of character, or if I want to go the skeleton route kind of way and almost go into like lich and necromancer kind of style with it. Not really witch doctor. I'm not going that that way. I just personally just don't want to do that. Doesn't mean that other people can't, but it's just like I just don't want to do that. That's like not what I want to do with how I want to make this character. Also, I've decided to slowly make all these characters like as if they live in a world together, and it's like all of them kind of interact in some sort of way or fashion. But yeah. And then I think the next week I might go back to doing horror monsters, but that's kind of like how my plan is to kind of do these. These will all be, of course, posted up on TikTok, on Twitter right after we're done. And also they will be posted up on VGen. And again, they're going to be in an order, so they're going to be organized. So we'll, which one we've done first, and then the next one, then the next one. If they are like a little bit more suggestive, they will get a tag on there, because I don't want to get banned off VGen because I forgot to I was improperly tagged it or something like that. So I'm not saying that they will all be very sexual or suggestive. It's just there are some that I might make that will be. This one, the ghost one, not really. It's just I want to make. We'll get into it. I actually haven't really completely started, because I actually tried drawing a little bit of this, and then I kind of put it off on the back burner. So we're gonna be basically starting from sketch to coloring. And by the way, all of these will be, of course, in black and white, meaning like all the rendering is black and white rendering. Just because I feel like I want to go for that effect of like those classic black and white movies, because that's like, I personally feel like that's where horror really, really lies in a lot of things. It's like, you don't need color and blood and all of that sort of stuff to do something that's horrific. Horror in itself, I love people's drawings of horror, like horrific creatures or some sort of way, and a lot of the artists that I particularly follow that do that mostly use just black ink, and it's really great. And I've always loved that kind of style of art, so we're basically kind of trying to reiterate that in this way as well, with just doing the black and white rendering. And also, it's just kind of nice to not focus on color and to just go back to just focusing on lighting and value and all of that. And I will say, in a way, that this is kind of helping me. It's just nice to do, but also I kind of really like it. And I was thinking of maybe opening up on VGen maybe a colored illustrations in black and white, meaning like they're gonna just be black and white colors instead of being a full colored illustration. Or I guess you could just ask for it. You could just say like, hey, can you just render this in black and white? So black and white rendered, and then maybe like one thing of color for like the background or something like that. Because that's basically what I'm doing. It's just one color just to kind of match with them as like a theme for them. So like, Frankenstein, I always associate green with Frankenstein, because everyone paints Frankenstein's monster with like green skin, so that's association. And then the vampire was red because blood, and then the creature from the Black Lagoon I made blue as their color association because blue, water, creature from the Black Lagoon. But other than that, I made like everything very, very dark. Actually, I made their skin darker too, because I just didn't like how I originally had it. Actually, you know what? Maybe I might pull them up and so you can see them. But I'm gonna put a no thing on it. I'm gonna put a no thing on it because I don't need to be banned. I like how I said I'm not gonna show it on stream, or that I can't show it on stream. I can. It's just I have to be very, very careful with it. I will put 2 no things probably on it. Just in case. Just as a precaution to it. Let me see. Yeah. Oh. Actually, I can open up this one, and then I can put a no-no thing. The no-no thing will probably be George or something else. We're gonna figure out based on how I want it. Oh, I know exactly which thing to put over for the no-no. Oh my gosh, that came in right over where I actually need the no-no. And this other area for the no-no. Technically it's dark down here, but it's okay. There we go. I have the no-nos on. The no-nos are on. So let me just switch over to stream and you can kind of see these for yourself. So this is the creature from the Black Lagoon. She is probably the most beautiful woman I've ever made. I don't think I can really top it. And by the way, yes, she is plus size. She does have some punch. And she doesn't have another eye over here because her hair is supposed to be over her eye. I actually honestly really loved, oh my gosh, is it not? Here we go. I really loved making all of the hair look like it's kind of wet. Cause I've never done a character that's been like pelted with water or anything like that, or had like, you know, had wet hair or anything like that. So it was like really nice to kind of really go in and kind of know how to do this. But I kind of remember like how my hair is with it when it's wet, and it kind of like sticks everywhere and sticks to the face, and kind of just makes these curls a lot. But yeah, we have the no-nos on. We have to have the no-nos on. There's a reason. I know this is art. We can say that this is art, but at the end of the day, yeah, no. If you want to see the full picture without the no-nos, you can definitely go and check it out on my VGen profile. That's just easier. Besides just trying to scroll through Twitter to find the pictures, it's just easily organized on there, that you can see it, and you can see all of them that I've done. So they're gonna be just like nicely organized on there. And then if you want to check out any of the other art that I've made over the past few months to year, like you can check all of that stuff out as well. But yeah, I love that we put the no-no things on here. I'm gonna save this with the no-no things. So if I ever want to pull this up again, so at least the no-nos are on here already. I don't have to worry about pulling it up again and putting the no-nos back on. But yeah, I will say when it comes to NSFW work or something that is like quote nudish, this is kind of one of the few things that I've ever really made. That's not to say I haven't made like nude art before, because I did a lot of figure drawing back in the day. So I have made plenty of technically nude art, but in terms of me doing it myself outside of a classroom, I've rarely done it. Not because I'm uncomfortable, but it's just more of like, I guess I never really had a character that really was going to have no clothes. So I will say this picture has made me a lot more confident in doing nude or NSFW art. I am accepting to doing NSFW art with commissioning and all of that. I do have rules for it though. There are rules. But yeah, so, and I will say she is just gorgeous. I'm like, I showed Jose it and he was like, smash. I'm like, exactly. If you do not want to smash this woman, what is wrong with you? What do you mean you won't let her drag you down to the watery depths? What do you mean you won't let her drown you with her thick thighs? You have to. If you do not, you are not a true man. You are not true simp. Oh my gosh. Anyways, today we're working on this. Let me just exit out that. Today we're working on this. So I have just like kind of started the sketching process of this. I am gonna be doing an open mouth. I've been starting to do more open mouths with my work. I think like there's a moment in your life where you're just like, I want to do more open mouths. Because when you're trained like classically and stuff, I will say, when looking at a lot of classical art, a lot of their mouths are like closed, so you don't have much to work with. Whereas like with animation and stuff, you're kind of taught how to how to draw an open mouth. So I want to do more of that sort of stuff. But yeah. I did bake her also pretty thick because why the hell not? Why the hell shouldn't I make a thick ghosty? I was originally gonna make this a banshee, but I decided on not doing that, and I'm just doing a generic ghost. The reason that I don't want to do like particular ghosts and spirits and ghouls is because I just don't want to fall into like some sort of weird ass pit of, oh, you're culturally appropriating. It's like I just don't want to fall into that. I don't want to cause drama. Okay, I don't like drama. I like reading and watching drama, but I don't want to be the creator of drama. So I'll just, you know, be over here in my nice little corner drawing what I want to draw. And also, I think I can have a lot more freedom, you know, to draw when I get just an abstract concept of ghost. And then I don't know, maybe on Wednesday or tomorrow I may start drawing or working on something else. I do have a plague doctor that I will work on, but I'll probably work on that next week because I kind of want to think about it a little bit more. I don't know why. I want to think about the design a little bit more. I actually might be inspired by another artist who actually also made a plague doctor character. And I kind of liked the concept idea that they had for it. I won't copy exactly, but I kind of want to look at how they kind of designed it and made it like a good thing for a character. Because like the thing is, I still want them to be differentiations. You know, like these are my characters, these are my designs. I don't want it to just be like, oh, I can just search that up in an image search and it looks like everything else kind of situation. So I think at the end of the day, you just gotta like figure out what kind of works and how to balance it out. But yeah, I will say I do have a small idea, and I'm kind of slightly inspired by another friend of mine, Fane, and how she did kind of her spooky art kind of situation with the bodysuit and everything. And I was kind of inspired to do that very similarly, but then I was like thinking about it, and I was like, I kind of want to do that, but kind of want to do that for something else. I don't know what, but I'll do it for something else. Oh no. Oh, this doesn't have anything in it. Okay. So for right now, I am just gonna kind of just like sketch and like go with the flow of what I feel. And yeah. Also, I want to talk a little bit about what I've been sketching in my off time other than doing these art pieces. Do I want... Oh. Okay, nope, I can't. Guys, I have to go to the bathroom. My body's like, I was like, no, I can sketch a little bit more before I have to go. My body's like, you sure about that? Are you sure about that? I will be right back. I'm gonna pause the recording really quick. Alright, now let us get back into this ghosty. Anyways. I need to check something really quickly. Okay. I want to make sure. I have some of my own personal audio playing in the background. Just some spooky music to get me in the spooky theme. But yeah. Anyways, without any further ado, we're gonna be going in with this new spooky. You know what I should have done? I should have added. Maybe I will next week. When I have more than enough, I'm gonna make the art up there, all the spooky art that we've made, except the creature from the Black Lagoon. I can't put that one up there. There's I need to do that trend of same artist, and it's just like shows one art piece and like another art piece next to each other, and it's just like, Anyways, so what I want to do, I honestly kind of don't really know how I wanted to do this, but again, like I said, I kind of want to like make it a little bit similar in the vein of how Fane did it, but also at the same time make it its own thing. And I was actually trying to think of doing something where it's like this, so it makes that nice kind of like spooky, you know, like how everyone imagines a ghost to be. Like that kind of shape, with how I kind of want to drape things. And by the way, we will be doing something with drapery. Actually, I will say, the one thing of art that I love freaking doing is rendering drapery. I don't know why this is, but I do it really well. And I think just doing it with charcoal drawings like so much, you just learn how to do it right. And I just love doing drapery. I think it's great. And maybe I'll explain a little bit about how to do drapery, because a lot of people are always just like, wow, you render clothes really well. And I just go, I just know how to do drapery well. And then because I know how to do drapery well, I know how to do folds in clothing really well. But I kind of want like this shape to happen, but I also kind of want to do some hair as well. Because you know what? Let's make the ghosty at least not bald, okay? Let's make sure they ain't bald. So I'm gonna do a kind of darker color, just to kind of outline how I want to do it. Do I want to give them a widow's peak? Will we see the widow's peak though? You don't know what a widow's peak is? This is a widow's peak. It's just a way of the shape of how the hair is, how the hairline works. Actually, the funny thing is, I don't know why. I don't know much, but the only one that I know of is a widow's peak, for hairlines. Because I think like this is the most flat. Like almost everybody, I think, does a widow's peak hairline. And I think it's just like so classic. It's very classic. If you look at a lot of villain characters kind of have this widow's peak. If they don't actually have it as their hairline, they have it somewhat as like a hat. I think Maleficent has it. Like Maleficent, you know, from the hit Disney film fucking, you know, we all know this. But Maleficent has that kind of, you know, thing, and then she has her horns. And it goes into this widow's peak. Yeah, it's very classical for villains to have that kind of widow's peak style, which is interesting because I have it for my character, as you can tell. I put a widow's peak on mine, but it's because I have a slight widow's peak. It's not as extreme as this. It's more of I have more something like this. It's very, very faint. But for doing illustrations and stuff, I usually go a little bit more into it. But I think it's funner to do more into it with widow's peaks and stuff like that. I like how we're actually talking about art today. But I think it's because I have none of the... I can be able to speak my mind and do what I wish in this stream. But also because I kind of want to talk a little bit about my creative process sometimes and thinking about stuff. Yeah. I also move the canvas around a lot. I've been noticing that. I do this a lot. And it's just because, like, I like moving the canvas around a lot. I just move it around constantly, and if people find it, like, a little jarring to do that, I'm sorry. It's just what I do. because sometimes I'm trying to move to get a better angle to draw, because I do deal with arm and wrist problems, so I have to move and adjust it constantly. Eventually I do want to get like a better area to be able to draw a little bit better, but yeah. Okay, now the question is how I want to do the hair. And I was thinking about doing something like this. Make it like kind of go a little bit. I don't know why I find sometimes like curls like this kind of. I think it's just how things are. And then of course we can like, you know, we can do strands eventually, but I'm trying to just like make the shape of it. I also kind of like this, kind of looks like a heart. I don't like that. I think it goes to like the silhouette of like, you know, we're gonna, you know, a lot of curves because of the drapery, so we'll probably kind of match with how the drapery is gonna be. And then because we're kind of doing it like this, then I kind of make how the hairline is. Now technically with your hairline, the point at which all your hair comes out, or like kind of somewhere where your hair comes out, technically your hair doesn't do this unless, you know, it's really extreme, but, you know, it's an illustration. It doesn't really matter, does it? Gonna do back and forth. I'm gonna kind of have her do like, I forget what kind of hair this would be. If it's like, I think it's like an A's. That's kind of more of like that shape, but it's like more. I'm trying to like do different hairstyles as well. Because like for guys, I mostly do a lot of straight-ish hair, but maybe for our jack-o'-lantern friend, maybe I might do some. But anyways, before I had to go to the potty, I was talking about how what I've been drawing as of recently. So I do have an actual sketchbook. Maybe one day when I finish it, because it's not finished yet. Maybe one day when I finish it, I may show you guys, depending on if I can show you certain things. Because I think there's some work in there that is from figure drawing, so it does have nude work in it. So I don't want to show that if there is that. But yeah. So for the most part, I want to make sure, you know. But when I have that filled, I'll be showing you guys some of the stuff that I've drawn in there. And some of it is like, you know, brainstorming stuff. Other times it's whatever, kind of things. And every once in a while it's got a few doodles in it, but very, very rarely do I really doodle in that sometimes. But now I'm starting to really doodle in it a little bit more than I used to. I'm just gonna like add some kind of like, and technically you won't really see this because we're gonna put a sheet over it, but you know, we want to still at least know that there's hair here. And then you know what, let's say that her hair like cuts off right about here. So she has like kind of short-ish hair, and considering that it would probably be about here, we're probably not really gonna see it. So there's the hair kind of done. And then let's go and work back on this. So let's see how I want this fold over. It also depends on how I want this to kind of. this is all coming. Now the other thing I was thinking about doing is doing like that this is like a hood kind of situation. But then I was like, no, we're going into like ghost face basically. Basic territory. And I'm just like, do I want to do that? Or do I want to do something a little bit more interesting? Different. And you know what I'm thinking of that might be different? Is making it that the material attaches. So like it's a hood on top and then the material attaches like the hand on the back. And maybe it's like pinned here or something like that. But then the thing and then we'll kind of figure out how I want to do. Because this is like a little. I'm gonna make it. Big. I'm like trying to think of how the path of it. We'll fix it up. And then we gotta figure out what the heck she's wearing. I guess we are going for the bodysuit, aren't we? I have an idea. So technically this isn't really how bone structure works, but because technically your ribs go to right about here-ish. What I'm gonna do. Tool. And then maybe the other rib. Maybe a big rib. Oh great, I am okay. Hold on. Twitch, don't worry. It's gonna don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Twitch. I know what I'm doing. Twitch, this isn't underboob. Don't worry. It's gonna be. We're gonna do something. We'll do. I don't know what I'll do. This is art, Twitch. Just art. Oh my god. I didn't want something like this, but I guess I inadvertently accidentally did. There you go. We could still technically make it like a bodysuit though. Actually. And there we go. See? And that'll look better. That'll be better in the eyes of Twitch, because it's somewhat fully covered, you know? It's somewhat. It's somewhat. Well, I actually kind of like how and then we kind of want to copy this kind of like that, and then kind of just so I'm just like trying to figure there we go. Kind of like that's just gonna under. Just because this is what up for. Okay, that makes more. I'm just do we want to try and do... Nah. I think it looks fine just the way it is. There we go. And then in terms of this, because it's like a glove. Gonna go to here. And then maybe I'll have some like... I just realized I accidentally kind of did the, I guess... Oh, I just realized what color, what color. We'll give her a light blue color to go with. To kind of reference Tim Burton, The Corpse Bride, because I just realized what this kind of reminded me of. It kind of reminds me of The Corpse Bride, and you know what? For good ass measurement, why not? So, it kind of looks like a bride. Not really, but at least the ghost part kind of does. just accidentally and inadvertently did that. Definitely wasn't planned. Just happened. I also just realized that technically if I wanted to, I could put like her art here, something like that. Happy. Just like trying to put it here. There. Here we go. Do I want to put nails on her? I'll give her some. But anyways, so I have been thinking, and I've been kind of working slightly on making some model adopts that I'll create. I don't know when I'll be making them, but I do have like concept designs for them. I currently have concept designs for 4. All of them are girls right now, but eventually I do want to make some male designs as well, because there's not enough male VTubers out there. But most of the concepts I've been like thinking about are concepts that if I do see them, they're very rare, and few between. Far and few between. That's kind of like how most of, most stuff. But like, I don't know. There's just like some concepts I'm just like, wow, that's not really original. Like, a lot of people like to be like clones sometimes of other very well-known people, and I'm like, you know what, you can be a somewhat clone if you really like that creator and all of that sort of stuff. Completely understandable. But it's like, I feel like everyone wants to always just imitate somebody else. Like, everyone always wants to imitate somebody else because they're like, well, that person's popular and their design is really cool, and I'm just gonna kind of copy that. And I will say one thing. Imitation is one of the best forms of flattery, but if you try and make a buck off of it from an imitation, it kind of starts to be like, I'm not saying that imitation is bad, and sometimes you're going to be inspired by a lot of different people, but at the end of the day, you want to make a design that's yours. And I think I was like watching something earlier about coming up with names for your VTuber, and a lot of people might be like, oh, Art Creates does not really like put into the feeling of you're supposed to be like a storm deity VTuber, and it's like, well, wait until my second version of my lore, and then it will make more sense. But but I'm an artist that does art, that likes to create things, and I'm also a content creator. That's literally why I chose the name. And if you do art and creates, like, name doesn't pop up very much, but like Art Creates, and then you put VTuber next to it, and I don't know if I possibly show up, but I mean, Art Creates artist, and you'll probably find something. But yeah. Also, I don't say this a lot, but my name is my name is inspired by my actual name. I won't say what my name is, but it is inspired by my actual name. So when you call me Art, it technically is my name. So if people go like, oh, like, but what do you call yourself, like, you know, besides your like VTuber name? And it's like, no, my VTuber name is my name, so yeah. Fun things there. You're not gonna get it wrong. Anyways, I'm gonna do a second sketch where it's supposed to be just kind of like an overarching sketch, just to kind of finalize everything I've kind of sketched out here. Sometimes I do this just to kind of like just get a clearer image of what I want to do, and if I need to make another sketch, I will. But honestly, I just usually make two. There are some people that make more than one sketch when making an art piece, and hey, if you need more like sketches, to me, can be revisions. You can sketch a thing multiple times in order to effectively kind of figure out what you want to go with. And it's okay to sketch it multiple times. Because sometimes you might sketch it a second time and not really like what you have, but then when you sketch it again, you're like, yeah, you know what? I kind of like this. And it's like, yeah, so it's okay to sketch multiple times if you do, in order to really understand what you're kind of trying to draw. Because I think in the past I used to do like 4 to 5 sketches before I like finalized on something. The other thing is that I used to use mediums that would be very forgiving. But with like this kind of illustration, you know, digital art is very, very forgiving, but there's also a lot of things that, you know, can, you know, you might want to like have a more solid. Oh, I was like, what is moving right next to me? It's my doggy. My doggy has come to sleep. Little bed area that I have. But yeah. But I think it all depends on kind of like how you want to make something. And sometimes with digital art, you're going to need to do it over and over again. Because sometimes how you first sketch it out is fine. But then you look at it again, you're like, ooh, something's not right. I think the only thing I won't sketch over is the face, because the face is kind of fine. Maybe only the mouth. Yeah. But like the fingers, to kind of like reiterate like that these hands have, you know, they have little claws and stuff. And then the other thing is that I kind of want to refine how I want so I think that it would look and then kind of because for the background I think I'm gonna do like a darker color. I was trying to make the background also. Yes. And I'd be like, how am I going to exactly render this? Well, all the lines here are going to be pulled down like this. And then up here, same thing. So when I render it, because this is a point, all of the folds will be here at the point. And then eventually they'll start like kind of separating and going further. So usually you want all the lines bunched up. So a lot of stuff will be bunched up here. So like this kind of line. And then as it goes out, it'll be spread out. And like the best way that you can literally do it, if you want to try sketching some drapery to learn how to like do drapery a little bit better, I would say literally grab like some sort of like bottle or an object or something that's either tall or some whatever, and then just put a and then put a I'm trying to think. Yeah, and then put a like whatever like kind of like owl or whatever, and then you can just sketch that. or if you want to, you can take a picture of it and then you can change it to black and white and use that as a digital value study, which is great if you want to do something like that. That's like super classic to do. Just make sure that you have like one point of light. The best way to do that is literally just like you could go in your room and just turn, if you can block out all the light from like windows and stuff like that. And then just literally, because like in here I have like the ceiling, or I could turn on a lamp light and then just turn on a lamp and then just face it. So I have like a desk lamp and I can just move it and adjust it and just, there's your singular point of light. So, it just all depends. But there's plenty of drapery studies out there in the world. You can literally just Google. You could technically Google just like picture of drapery value study, and you can just grab a picture and just use that as a study. Or there's plenty of artists that also like put out drapery value studies as well, I think. I think it's not as common to do it because a lot of people are trying to do other things, but there's like clothing ones that you can do, and those technically are also like drapery. They're basically, if you want to learn how to draw clothing, drapery value studies. It's really boring, but do it and you'll start to understand more. And then if you're doing something that's like more skin tight, like, it's skin tight, it's okay. You don't really have to know how something really folds. You just kind of have to know how the body moves, really, and points of contortion. Like, how you contort yourself, how you contort your body. Like how I can do this with my body, with my model. Yeah, you just kind of have to know how like a head turns and moves and all of that. And actually the funny thing is I look at a lot of live 2D rigs and I'm just like, I don't know why, but I can understand like, oh, well, it's anime characters, so we can kind of, pose and like manipulate the body to whatever we wish. But I'm just like, there's a difference between manipulating a body and everything, and then like actually trying to make it look like it's supposed to be a 3D form. And it's like, you can say it's an anime character all you want, but at the end of the day too, like it should still somewhat move like a body should kind of move. So like how I have my head, like this is feasible. You know, like, you know, you can kind of turn your head like, you know, or if I just like angle my head slightly. Like this is feasible to turn your head like this. And then if I really want to lean, I can lean over like that. Like that, this is a feasible movement of your body. I see a lot of live TD rigs. I'm just like, tell me you haven't studied the human body without telling me you haven't studied the human body. I'm not saying the rigs are bad. Oh, no. Some of them are absolutely amazing. But as a person that has studied like the human anatomy and everything like that for several years, there's some things that I see live TD artists do, and I'm just like, that isn't supposed to move that way. And if it actually did move that way, you need to call your doctor. But like, you know, with Live 2D, like most of the stuff, it makes sense. As to me, as long as it somewhat makes sense, it's fine. At the end of the day, they're drawings. At the end of the day, they're drawings. But there's some moments that I look at it and I'm like, did you even try to make this look like a 3D form? There's like some people that I just like, I love like all the character art, and then the model moves and I'm like, why doesn't it look like it's moving in a 3D space and it's just like a 2D plane? Which it is. All live 2D rigs are just 2D planes that we manipulate to look like they're 3D. But I'm like, did you even try to make it look like it was 3D? Like, I feel like the person gave up a little bit. And it's funny because the rest of the model looks absolutely great. And then it's like, and okay, I'm gonna be honest. As a person that does do rigging, I know how hard it can be. I know that some days you just want to give up. But I want to at least make it look like they're a 3D form kind of situation. I want to at least make it look like that this model is accurate and up to par with what I would want. I'm like, if I want to make a model for somebody, how would I want to make this model for myself? Like, that's what I think of. And there's a lot of fuck ups that I do with my own models that helps me to learn how not to do that for other people's models, which is actually really helpful. So I don't mess up. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be a live TD rigger, but at the same time, like, can you? There's just some live TD riggers that I'm just like, I understand that maybe sometimes you gotta give up a little bit, but like, I would feel a little bit in pain, but that's like just my opinion. Maybe that's just how that rigger does things, and if that's how that rigger does things, then it's like, okay, to each their own. I guess that's just how you do things, and at the end of the day, the person that commissioned you for doing that model, if they love it, that's all that fucking matters. At the end of the fucking day. That's all that matters. I can critique all I want in my little mind, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna give you those critiques unless you ask for critiques. I'm not a person out here going and critiquing people, because I don't like it done to me. I critique it in my head, and then I'm just like, and then there's other things where I just go, oh, that's like really interesting, because there's some rigs that I see people do, and I'm just like, that's a really cool way to rig that. Or like, oh, I wonder how I can do this in my rigs kind of situation. So sometimes when I'm looking at certain live TD rigs, I kind of get like that kind of thing. But I will say there are some moments where I just go, I could never rig like that. I will say one thing I do kind of want to do. I'm debating on getting my 2.0 model actually modeled and rigged by somebody else, like by other people. But at the end of the day, I don't know why, but I kind of feel like people will not put it up to my standard, because at the end of the day, I am a plus size. I'm plus size. I want my model to be plus size. And I feel like looking at a lot of the rigs that people do, they don't do my kind of plus size. They do the curvy girl, but with like no power, like this. This is like curvy, but no chub. Curvy with no chub. I want chub. I have chub. And it just kind of feels like, you know, I won't be able to find that particular artist. Now, there is an artist I do know of that does do plus size models, but the way that they do it is not bad, but like everything looks fine up until the head. Not saying that the head and the art is like bad, it's just like the head does not look like it matches the body. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna look at that every single day when I'm streaming, and I just will want to vomit probably every single time. Not vomit in the sense of like, but I just would be like, I would just be in a constant state of, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. So it's the hard thing of trying to find an artist that I particularly like, that I want to be able to probably commission for that kind of rig. I'm not out here asking for solicitations, like, no, please do not DM me saying like, oh, I can rig you a model, like, I could do this. It's like, no, please don't do that. Let me find you, because I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna commission you because I want to commission you, because I like the work that you've done previously. But I will say a lot of artists do not do very, very plus size live 2D model, which to me, I feel is kind of a problem. I feel like that is somewhat of a problem within the live 2D, or like not live 2D, but in like the VTubing genre. But I think it kind of comes from that there's not really any real plus size any big like VTubers that are really plus size. That's not to say that there are some. There are a few out there that are kind of like somewhat big, but they're not like Shy Lily or Iron Mouse with VShojo big kind of situation. And I think like because there's very few of them, but the amount of plus size when it comes to like English indie VTubers, I can count on my hand. There's literally like 5. There's 5 that I know of that are one big and kind of popular, but they're not like popular. One plus size one that I do know of, the only reason that she's popular is because she has like a Fansly, I think. So that's the reason that she's popular, I think. I'm not saying that's possibly the reason. It could be because of other stuff. But who knows? Who knows, honestly. But I do like that person. They're kind of funny, and I also just like their model as well. It's really nice. They're really like nice looking model. So, but I feel like a lot of people, when they ask for like a plus size model, we get the curvy girl situation, where it's like they're so like, you know, they have big boobs, but then it goes in here, and then they have a waist, and you know, they have like this hourglass like like very much like this kind of curvy shape. But this isn't plus size technically. Technically, you do need plus size clothing, but that's not like the plus size representation that most people want. And I think like nowadays with how live 2D models are, I think there's like now this kind of breakage where there's like now more variety in what people want to create and more interesting models that people are doing. But I think there's still also that standard quo. Like, you have to have a model that looks like they're a Victoria's Secret model, or else, like, you're not gonna be popular. And I'm just like, you don't need to have a Victoria's Secret model or a Victoria's Secret kind of style model in order to be popular. Because at the end of the day, your model, you can spend $10,000 on a model and have no personality. Because at the end of the day, your model can look awesome as fuck. And I would love to make a model for anybody to make it look awesome as fuck. But if you ain't got no personality with the streaming, you know, like, most people love me because I'm just an unhinged, chaotic gremlin. I feel like that's the reason a lot of people follow me. But if you're not, like, doing that, it's just like, yeah. But at the end of the day, you do what you want to do. If you want a model that looks however you want, then commission that. Find an artist that you love and commission it. That's what I'm gonna do probably in the future when I have the affordability to probably do it. I might do that. I still am looking at artists. I'm still like looking at people, but right now there's not that much diversity into what I kind of want. I think in future there may be a person that I would particularly commission for that. But right now, like, I'm just gonna do it myself. I might waste like a lot of time and hours just to try and make it work, but we're gonna see. And considering how my 2.0 is gonna have a lot of bells and whistles to it, I will probably be dying making it, honestly, because it's gonna have a lot of moving parts, and I want to put an animated idle animation on it, and like other animation stuff. I want to go like further into that kind of stuff. So we're gonna see how well that does. And sometimes, oh, I see. Did I put this way too high? I think I did. This should be lower. Aha, that's what. Because this is supposed to be up, but this is supposed to be down. Aha, yes. That was. I was like, there's this much space. Actually, no, I am right. It's supposed to still, this point is supposed to still be up here, but this is supposed to be lower. This is why we re-sketch things, because sometimes your measurements are technically wrong. And then there's not supposed to be, well, the other thing is this is moving away from us, so we're not gonna see this, because this line is more, because this line's more directly in front of us. So it's gonna have different. And the other thing, that and that, perfect. Also, you know what I just realized with a lot of my models that I usually do? Is I usually have them not have their boobs pushed up together. I think the only reason I don't do that is because push-up bras are menaces. Do. I think it's hard because, like, this side is actually getting more. There you go. And then I do want to that. Go. And then get this. Because, no. Let's just put a garter there just for... Of course, we gotta make... Oh. And for up here. I want to do... And then the only reason I'm not following this contour and doing it further down here is because when your mouth opens, your jaw moves down. Mm. Like kind of a little angy ghost, just like in Phasmo, angy ghost. You know how someone taught me to do noses? They're like, do a circle and then do 2 teacups. They're like, draw teacups on either side. I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. Literally just draw the T-tips. There you go, you have a nose. But this is, remember, this is a European nose, so it's not, this thing, technically, no, technically it could work for every nose. Think about it in the long run. You just draw, instead of drawing a circle, you could technically do like an ellipse and then do teacups. And there you go, you have like a wider nose. So it depends on how you draw the circle, but technically, yeah. Of course, this doesn't work if your profile doesn't. I did notice that profile doesn't work with this kind of way. Did say I wasn't gonna do the face, ended up doing the face. Or I said I wasn't gonna do the eyes. There we go. Hair is pretty understandable. I just wanted to like kind of like the body. Alright. And now we can go and do a flat close. Hooray! I don't know if I'm gonna finish this today, or like in the stream. If I do, yay me. If I don't, well, that's okay. I'm gonna start with the skin first. I always start with skin first, just so that I kind of understand how to put differentiate all the values, because I could technically make the entire thing one flat color and then move into doing all of the rendering and shading. That's like how you're supposed to normally do it, but it's like I want to make sure that all of them are different, and so that I'm able to render that individual color differently. Because I know, let me just make like for Ghost. Okay, so I'm gonna actually change the background color now. This is so that then it'll be easier, because I'm going to do kind of like almost a similar color to here. So we're gonna do I will say, without having to focus on colors, it's a lot easier because I don't have to deal with much. But let me create like a little thing. So I kind of want the skin kind of be this really almost white, because we're going for a ghost. We're going ghost. Going ghost. Sorry. Actually, I kind of want to make it a little bit less than that, because I kind of want their hair to be almost white. So I still want some differentiation between the skin and it's slightly darker. There we go. So there's some differentiation between the hair and that. And then for most of the rest of it, and then I'm actually going to make the sheet into a light, very light, like almost white baby. That's going to be the sheet color. Now we could also make this a different color. Actually, you know what? We could go the dark blue route. But then the sheet pops out with the skin color. Or blue do we want to go? I think that's a good enough blue. We could make it a little. We'll just figure out which one. I'll choose which one. I'll see. If I don't like the lighter color, we'll just do the darker color. And let's actually do like the almost like pastelish desaturated. There, we got 3 blues. We'll pick which one. When it comes to it. And then for the bodysuit, I kind of want it to be almost black. So like this. They never go all the way black. So it's almost black. And then the bone, we're gonna kind of do this. Because technically bones are yellow. Which is really funny to think about. Technically your bones are yellow. The only reason that they show up white on a lot of things is because they've been... the only time that your bones are really white is if they've been cleaned. But technically, if you think about it in the long run, your bones are technically a yellowish color. So they're not exactly white. Fun facts. Fun facts with art about your bones. But yeah. I guess technically a great way to tell what color your bones are is what color your teeth are. If your teeth are a little bit yellowish, your bones might be a little bit yellowish. Fun facts. The only area that shouldn't be yellow or like have yellowish is your skin. Like if there's a yellow discoloration, or if your eyes are starting to become a little bit yellowish, that means you're going jaundice, and that's not good. Fun health facts start. I actually almost did want to become a veterinarian, so healthcare, a healthcare professional, but for animals. Because I really loved animals and I wanted to be one, but I ended up not. I'm now an artist, so I love animals and I wanted to take care of them and stuff, but I did not want to do surgeries on animals. I thought that was awful. I was like, I can barely look at, when I was like thinking about it, I was like, I can barely sometimes look at like, you know, and my mom was like, well, you watch like a bunch of horror stuff and like FBI and like, you know, like what, yeah, Law and Order and a lot of other like things where it shows like, you know, blood, guts and stuff like that, and it's like, but you can't do surgery on animals. I'm like, yep, nope. Sorry, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm not doing that. But anyways, yeah, I think we're gonna go with this. What are we gonna make the gloves, though? No, I don't want to make the gloves the same color. Here, let's see. Okay. There we go. Again, values. Values. Basic values. That's what we're going for. So we're going to start with the skin. And by the way, I could technically go back over this some point later and actually put, like, color to them if I wanted to. Like, just like color them in, because basically I can just put an overlay layer on them and then just put a skin tone to it, but I don't want to do that. Actually, if anyone wants to know why I'm doing them black and white, it's because I just want to do them in black and white, because at the end of the day it shouldn't matter like what they are, because at the end of the day they're just characters, so but anyways, you can just, well, I could do that, but the easiest way is and we're going really close up, so it's gonna be a little bit pixelated. Not gonna be so pixelated when we zoom out, but... Doing some spooky art for spooky month. I will say I've kind of liked, I said this before, but I've kind of like really liked doing this, these kind of art pieces because like it lets me kind of like go back to basics with understanding values and doing value studies. Just sometimes you just gotta go. Sometimes you just gotta go back to the basics. Sometimes basics. I may make the nails a different color so they pop out a little bit more. I might make them the blue color just to kind of do that, because I did that with another character as well. Oh, you know what? Okay, your ears aren't completely hidden, so we will be putting in. I think this is the first time I've actually put ears on one of the characters, except for the vampire one. The vampire did have ears, but they have more pointed ears. Technically, I don't have to draw any. But this did that. Technically, if you want to do a cheat for how to make the jaw open, you could draw the line and then just scoot it down a little bit, and it would work. Technically, that would work. Oh, stupid. I thought I enclosed the head. I did not, because I still gotta do the rest of the body. I think it's because most of them have had kind of more fully clothed. But I kind of want to do a few more like girl kind of spooky art before I move into doing more guys again. I think I want to just make somewhat of a balance between the amount of girls and guys. Because, like, you know, I think, like, for the most part, a lot of people kind of conflate a lot of spooky stuff with... Oh, I think nowadays it's more girls are very into the spooky season, but... Ah, fly, what are you... But, you know, I think, art should have an equal balance, because everyone loves Halloween. I just realized is I could technically be watching Halloween Town right now and none of you would know. None of you would know if I was watching Halloween Town or not. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I actually still have to finish it. Maybe that's what I'll do. I really love how this is turning out. I think with the background, they're gonna pop a lot more. But again, we are gonna put another technical background around them because of the cloth, but or technically the veil. What are we gonna call it? Is it a veil? Is it technically a veil? Am I just making the Corpse Bride Part 2? What's just happening right now? Who knows? Actually, speaking about corpses, I played some more Baldur's Gate yesterday, off stream, of course, and I wiped out the goblin camp. Yep, it's all gone. There are no more goblins in the goblin camp. Hooray! I did the party thing and everything, so now Halsin is a part of our party, which finally we have Halsin. Yeah, I was just being weird. I'm gonna be trying to get up to level 5 before we move on to Act 2. So there's like a few other things that we're gonna be able to do next time. I will say we're gonna try and not make it 4 hours like I did last time. But yeah. But if you want to go and check that out, I think the VOD will be up on YouTube like this Saturday. But if you want to go and watch it right now, I would highly recommend. If you're watching on YouTube, probably already up and out, and you can go and check that out. It's Kentucky, but offline I did kill the rest of them. But online, I made some nice Kentucky Fried Goblin, and that's the name of the video. I decided to rename the video Kentucky Fried Goblin because it fits so much better. Oh, we really slayed all of them. And Jose was telling me how he was like, you blew them up. I had to deal with fighting those things. You just blew them up. And I'm like, yeah, I had enough bomb material to just blow them up. So why not just, I don't know, use all the bombs and just blow them up? Just do that. It's funner. I just realized she kind of looks like Morticia. She kind of gives me Morticia vibes, you know? Oh, I love her so much more now. I've just been slowly making art that is just like, mommy? Sorry. But hey, you know what? Sometimes mommy sorry art is the best art. This one. And have the most fun with it. Do-do-do. I'm gonna zoom down a little bit more. Okay, there we go. But she is given a lot of Morticia vibes, I just realized. She also kind of does give like Lich vampiric vibes as well, but it's supposed to be a ghost. I think we're leaning a little too much into kind of the skeleton as well. But hey, you know what? Sometimes things change. Sometimes how you want to do something changes a little bit of how you're gonna do something. I'm gonna give myself my own little stretch time because my back is starting to hurt. But yeah. But anyways, how is everyone doing? Enjoying the little stream? I will say, I was thinking about changing up my schedule. my live schedule for like when I go live and stuff like that. And the only reason like I've been thinking about changing up like at what time I do that I'm live is because like for the most part I started to notice that at like 2 p.m. like not, at least where I am, not a lot of people are watching from where I am, and like streaming more like either early in the morning or later in the afternoon is like the best times it seems. But the thing is that if I start doing it too later on in the day, like I don't think I'll be able to like see as many people on here as I used to. So it just, I don't know. I don't know. Because the other thing is that on Mondays in the morning is when I usually go to the grocery store. So I'm like, I don't want to disturb that routine. So I don't know. And then the other thing is that people have been saying to start streaming completely on weekends, meaning like do Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. But I'm like, having a stream, like having streams back to back to back to back is kind of tiring to me. And I just like need like a break day. And most of my weekends is like also just a break for me. So I'm like, do I want to keep going with how I'm going? Or do I want to kind of change the times on how I want to do things? Like, instead of Saturdays being like at 2, maybe Saturdays being at 11 or something like that. So then I have more of the rest of the day to like do whatever. And then maybe like Fridays do that later on at night or something like that. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to really do. Because one time I like changed up my schedule like a little bit and like nobody came. I used to stream at 4, but now I stream at 2. I did try streaming at 1 before, but a lot of people started streaming at 1 most of the time, or like noonish. And I'm like, I want to still eat lunch and walk my dog. So, I think it just depends. But like 2 has always been just such a good time. Because like I'm now awake enough. But then the thing is like once I end stream, I'm so tired. Like to do anything. But it's like by the time I'm done, it's usually the end of the day anyways. And that's where I like do most like other things. So I'm like 2 is like the best. But sometimes 2 is not the most reasonable time for some other people. So I guess it just depends on a lot of things, doesn't it? I think it also just kind of depends on like people's things. But I think like, you know, I've been doing it at 2 for like like almost a year now. So like changing it up would seem strange. And also I've gotten so used to doing it at 2. So that's the other thing. So it's like, I want to change the time, but I've gotten so used to doing it at 2 that I don't want to change the time. Because I've gotten too used to doing it at this time. But I think it just all depends, doesn't it? Or maybe I'll hold a poll for it. And I'll like say like the different time zones that it'll be in as well. But then it's like I don't want to be streaming at the same time like my friends are streaming because I sometimes want to watch them. I think it's also in that constant battle of do I stream when they're streaming so they have a possibility of rating me or me rating them and we could I don't know do that, but I was just like I don't know. Oh, this looks brilliant. You know what? Oh, that actually really pops out pretty well. Maybe I might even make the gloves black. Yes, that actually looks really good. Because, again, we're going to be putting, like, a lighter background, so the black contrasting with the lighter. Yeah, that'll work. See, sometimes things work out in the most ingenious of ways. So it can go. And then here, this will be contrasting against, like, the bones. Oh. There we go. Oh, that looks great. That actually looks really. Nice. Let me just. Da. Guess we should do the hair. Well, good. Let's do. Let's. Test it. A little bit small. Oh, I actually like it. It does kind of give skeleton vibes, but like if we're trying to go for like ghost ghoulish, I guess this is more of a ghoul than it is a ghost, but I kind of like it. I will say, if I really like some of these designs, I may turn them into VTuber that people can adopt. I will say I'm still trying to think about how to do VTuber adoptables. I'm like kind of like thinking, I'm just like, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it in a way like what I might do is do it through Ko-Fi and then like make it like a sale thing, like a sell thing, and then you pay through that, and then who knows. But I do want to do VTuber at one point. I don't know when, but I do want to start making them, and I might start working on them on. I don't know when. Okay. I actually really like it. I don't know if I like the ribs down here. Because like it's supposed to be like a rib cage. I don't know if I like down at the I think it's just like because it follows the rib, how the rib. I'll say that. 6 and 5. I kind of like it, but I don't know if I like their ribs. We'll see. Oh yeah, you know what? Actually, with that, it looks fine. And then we're gonna be doing some like shading and stuff like that. So I think it'll make it pop somewhat when I start doing the shading. We'll see. This is supposed to. And now, so we basically have most of that done. We basically have the outfit done. Now we gotta get the hair done. And then we gotta get the face done. I usually do save the face for last, so if I fuck up, then at least I have most of everything else done. Because at the end of the day, hair is... I'll try. Because we're gonna... Uh, we'll have to put... Actually, then... It also... want this. Like trying to find it. Yes, cross here. Do not cross here. Oh, I was trying to zoom out. Oops. Alright, let's see. Got any holes? No. Actually, that looks... elevated. Then we can kind of go in and kind of have some more fun. Oh, that actually looks really great with that hair. I was gonna do it in a different color, but actually this more pastel blue better. It kind of makes it pop. And then we're gonna do white for the rest of it. Hey, at least you know the 2 hours of just this, and then it's gonna be 1 hour of rendering. That's usually what ends up happening. But now you can at least see I can basically crank almost any art piece that I currently make. I can do it in 3 hours if it's just the character. Just the character is 3 hours. That's why if you tell me, hey, I want to do a background for this stuff, it's like, okay, depending on how much the background is, that's gonna be like another hour or two. Anyways, let me save this. Oh, my back has been so sore recently. Excuse me as I'm trying to drink my tea. I actually might get up and go and make some more tea, because I've kind of been sitting here for a while, and I kind of want to get up and walk away a little bit. But I kind of want to finish the sheet, and then I will ooh. How do I want to layer this though? Because there's part of it that goes over the hair, and then there's part of it that is behind. There's part that goes above, and there's part that goes behind. Might do how I usually do with like Life 2D models. This makes it a little bit easier. Or could do. This is still on pin color. I want it to be. Because behind all of the hair also going to gonna make the sheet, and then I'm gonna go back and erase it all. But there is an easy way to erase it that I'll show you the easiest technique. Right. Of course, no matter what, no matter how many big fat lines it. The longer it takes, the more I know that it's done the thing. What the? Fine then. Fuck you. I'm redoing it. I'm gonna redo it on the biggest brush setting I can think of. Because then I know it won't fucking do a fucky wucky. And sometimes the biggest brush settings are I need to refine this, I guess I'll I swear to God. There you go. Now the thing is, if I do this, cool, but then it doesn't put it on top like I want it to. That's why we do this. Then we kind of blur it. Like, you can kind of see through. Then I'm gonna click. And then, can I refer? We want this again. Want this. Oh, we also artist. Then hi. Hello. We're just filling in all the flack. Oh no, I moved it. No. We're just making a spooky gusty for the spooky season. Oh, I didn't grab this one. Why did I not grab this? And who said that ghosties can't be very sexy? Because why the heck not? But hello, welcome in. How are you doing on this fine day? Let me see. Ghost boobs. Yes. Yes, correct. Ghost boobs. Ghost boobs is correct. It's always correct. You can touch them, but you can't feel nothing. Exactly. Oh, I am on the wrong thing. I'm kind of like doing a little trick technique. Good, rethinking my life choices. What about you? I'm doing good. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I mean, with this spooky art piece, there's many reasons to why you would I constantly think I constantly rethink my life choices Especially with this entire series I've been doing. I've been constantly rethinking about them. Oh my gosh. Oh. But yeah. But this is not the, and this is from, I'm doing like a kind of series of reimagining these, so this is not the only one that I've made. Well, at least in terms of ghosts, this is the only one I'm making. There's nothing I can think besides how ghost boobs work. They do. That's it. That's just, they just do. They just do whatever ghost boobs want to do. Yeah. They just do whatever they wish to do in the afterlife, don't they? There we go. Oh, perfect. Okay. Oh, I forgot to... I can fix that. Would you like to see the other one that might make you question your life choices? I actually was showing it off earlier. I can't show every the full thing on Twitch because of how things are, but show most of it. Depends. Depends. Oh my gosh. Are they sexy? Yes. Most of this series I've been making, I accidentally have made them very sexy without meaning to. And there's that's enough. Actually, I wanted to kind of show briefly like all of them, but you know. So this is the I was actually thinking the ghost gives me Morticia vibes. Very much Morticia vibes. And bigger than better. So this one I had to put no things on it. I had to put no things. Oh, she is very much thicker. she's a much more thicker woman. I had to put. If you want to see the full picture, yeah, see where it's if you scroll, yeah, if you look at the commissions, thicker than a plot, yeah. I actually really adore how this one came out because I actually loved. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really love this piece, but not for the reasons of it just being completely naked. This is, by the way, this is supposed to be the creature from the Black Lagoon. That's an old movie, but it's a really nice classic horror film. Looks great. Smash. Next. Okay. But I actually really love this piece because I loved how I did it looking like as if it has wet hair. I've never done that before. So this has also been just really nice. Let me open the other ones as well. And then before this one, I did Frankenstein, or my reimagining of Frankenstein. Oh, thank you for the follow. That is weird that is. Why is Streamlabs okay, well, I gotta apparently go into the audio for stuff because that should not be doing both of those. Let me just make a remark on that. But this is Frankenstein's it's supposed to be Frankenstein's monster, but also supposed to be basically mixing the two together. Because I wanted to, and I thought it would be fun. So it's just my reimagining of Frankenstein. And yeah. The harness on him, yeah, we're not gonna talk more on that. I also gave him piercings, because why the hell not? Why the hell not? And then I haven't done many. I want to do more, but I just haven't been like in the mood a lot to do them. And then the last one, which was the first one I did that started this entire series off, was of course the vampire. I made him so fruity. But I feel like with how everything is, you just gotta make him a little bit fruity now. I of course gave them nails for days. Bro is so zesty, I know. Super zesty, like Baldur's Gate has been rubbing off a little bit on me with frickin' Astarion. Astarion was very much inspiration a little bit for this fruity dude. you gotta make him a little bit fruity sometimes. But yeah, so but this is the one to really start it off, and then I started going to, and then so I did vampire because I was like, well, vampire is technically Dracula, and then like the entirety of like this the first one that I did last week, the first 3, is kind of inspired by classic monster movies, the classic old horror monster movies. So like Dracula with the vampire, and then Frankenstein, and then no one really knows much about the creature from the Black Lagoon, but it is a very oldie but a goodie. I actually do remember watching this movie in particular. I don't remember much from it, but I do remember it, and it's a movie that I don't think a lot of people know, unless you're like into movies, then you kind of know it. But yeah. I will say I think a lot of people might mistake this one for a Siren though, and I can completely understand that. But Sirens is probably not next week, but the last week. I'll be doing a Siren. Probably based more around the Greek mythos of what a siren is, than the typical siren that we all know and love. But yeah, and then now we have Ghosty. So those are all of them that I've made so far. And then I have like all my other artwork that I've done that you can see up in the top corner. That's all the other artwork I've done over the past few months. But with these kinds of reimaginings, I've started to go back to more like black and white, because the classic horror films were always in black and white in the 1950s and stuff like that. So that's why I kind of wanted to go for more of the classical. Also, I don't have to deal with color and figuring out how all the color scheming work. So that's a plus for me. And it's easier to render it on. Looks dope. Thank you. And thank you for the follow as well. Thank you. But yeah. So now all I have to do is the face, and then I can now start rendering it. That's the fun part. And also the most difficult part when it comes to it being in black and white. Because one of these things is black, and you gotta figure out how you're gonna render that. And then the other thing is white. White and black are very hard to render. It's easy to put it on there. It's hard to try and render it. And then also the other thing is that most of my hair has been like black and stuff like that. So now that the hair is now a color, I'm gonna have to render that differently than how we render the rest of them. All of it, you gotta forward thinking. Lots of forward thinking. But yeah. I'm actually still debating on whether or not on Wednesday I want to do another art piece or like another art or doing a cozy game. I put it on my schedule. I was doing cozy, but I'm like, I kind of want to do another art piece. It's very rare that I do like art for a lot of days, but I want to do it more. I'm feeling a little artsy this week. Oh, face. Face. Still face. No, not vase. Here, we misspell everything. Don't worry about it. I feel Farsi this week ate too much beans. Oh no, not the beans! Hey, you know what? Sometimes you just really love the beans and you just can't stop, but you have to have the beans. That'll work. Alright, let's see how that works. Does. There you go. Question. Oh, what? Sometimes I always wonder, do I want to do this the Scaleras in like a different color, or want to do in regular old-fashioned white? And then I'm just like, And then just gotta do your mouth. Then they can start rendering. Oh, wonder. Oh, no. Not this color, but very rarely make open mouth. So I think it's just because like most people. I think it's easier. There we go. They're great open. Nothing. No, wrong brush. Wrong brush. That brush. There we go. I have a particular brush that I sometimes use with doing, because it gives nice kind of texture points there, but it's also really great for flyaway. Because then it starts kind of looking like, or at least how I want. Oh, a stretch? Thank you. I need a stretch. I like that my model is actually able to do it, so I can like look like I'm actually stretching. Let's just say it used to not be able to do that, but now it does. There we go. It's kind of very subtle, but it worked. Oh yeah, I wanted to do the nails. I almost forgot about that. To give a little bit more character. I just realized, like, most of them, I've been giving them fabulous nails. I don't know what it is with me and finally giving my characters the nails that they deserve. Because I normally don't draw nails, which some people might be like, that seems very weird. And it's like, well, they just never really, you know, had fabulous nails to where I could paint their fabulous nails. I just want to make them look fabulous. Allow me to make them look fabulous. Oh my goodness, you look beautiful. The white almost hurts my eyes a little bit though. The white do be hurting my eyes. But hey, you know what? We now have to do rendering. Light mode? Oh my gosh, yes. It's basically light mode. Why did I decide to make the sheet white? Why did I make it white? Oh, my eyes. Ow! Oh no, you've discovered the throwing stuff that you can throw stuff at. Congratulations, welcome to the throwing age. Most of my chat loves throwing stuff at me, so go to your heart's content. But yeah, light mode. Usually I never use light mode, so whenever I see light mode on something, I'm like, ah! My irises are burning. I can feel my eyes shriveling up. And then I'm like, I can do it on this. Yeah, no. Maybe the first thing I'll render then is the sheets. Many people rest in peace who use light mode. I know people that do use light mode, and I have some other friends of mine that use light mode, and I look at them and I'm like, why are you using light mode? Like, I'll see them like post up something. Psychopath. They are psychopaths. Whoever uses light mode, you are a psychopath. My irises are currently burning with this white sheet. I don't know how any of you do it. How do any of you do it? But I'll be like, you know, scrolling through Twitter, like, you know, like just checking out stuff, and then I see like somebody post up like, you know, how many like new followers I got, and it's like, thank you all so much for like this many followers, and then I see the picture. You want to know what the picture's in? It's in fucking light mode. I look at them, I'm like, you have that shit in light mode? There's a dark mode. Oh, there's a Live 2D now has a dark mode. I literally downloaded the new Live 2D program just so I could have it on dark mode. I despise light mode, exactly. But live 2D, the live 2D program, which is the program that is for my rigging for my model, that only came in light mode. Oh my gosh. Hello, puppy. Puppy, can I? Okay. All right. So my dog usually knows when it's time for her to go out for her daily exercise. And actually currently we have the back door locked, so she can't go outside. What the dog doing? The dog is coming over and kind of clawing at my leg a little bit. Go up on your spot. How about you go up on your spot? My dog does have a spot in my office just for her. I know what you want to do. You want your daily exercise. You want your late exercise. But her doggy door is currently closed because we actually have been dealing with a skunk. Oh, okay. We've actually been dealing with a skunk, and we've caught the skunk perhaps, but we don't want her going anywhere near the caught skunk. So yeah. So unfortunately, she's been inside for most of the day. I did take her out on an afternoon walk so that she could get some pees and poops out, but we may only have 30 minutes to try and render as much as we can, and then whatever I don't finish, I'll try and finish up at the end, meaning like I'll finish up after stream, and I'll post the completed picture up because I do want to post it up today. And then on Wednesday, I might actually do another drawing. And that one, I'm still debating on whether or not I want to go with a skeleton or kind of like a pumpkin head guy. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. Or I might do a witch. Because I also have the witch that I want to do. So it depends on kind of what I do and what I want to do on that day. So anyways, without any further ado, let's start kind of rendering this. So this is that, and then we'll make this. And I usually only use one particular brush for this. Oh, interesting. Well, that didn't... Well, we can go back and... brush? Oh yeah, I forgot why. And the question is, you know what? I kind of want it to come from. I'll figure. Where it kind of want. You know what, I usually have the shading coming, or the highlighting coming over from kind of this side, but I don't know why. I kind of want to do it backlighting, but I feel like with black and white, it's going to get too dark. So, I mean, it can be done. It's just... I was actually talking about how I love to do drapery on stuff. That's why I really wanted to kind of do the ghost. is because I love drapery. I love rendering drapery. I used to do traditional charcoal drawings, so drapery is like second nature to me now. But well, if it's gonna be coming from because I kind of want it to come from somewhat the back and kind of run, unless I want to do do it from I think as long as you know how like cloth is supposed to fold over itself, it's usually pretty. But if you don't know how cloth renders over itself, it's gonna not be a the render. And then I usually pick a kind of darker kind of go. Really oh, the cloth is white, so I don't want to go like too dark with most of it. Or else, well, you won't be able to see doing. And then, when in doubt, just add a light layer or something like that. The rendering part is kind of satisfying. Because then you're gonna see all the hard work that I've just done finally create itself into a more 3D looking form. And when in doubt, you can go back. I will say drapery now works like so much better with this new art style that I have of doing it very painterly brush style. Because I used to have a more like, you know, rigid kind of anime-ish style, but now like being a little bit more free and flexible. If I mess up a little bit, well, it's okay. It's already messy. It's fine. Can't mess up something that's already messy as it is. There you go. Now that looks better already. And then sometimes when I like to do, just kind of do another, especially because it's so dark, just do an overlay. Kind of start rendering the darkest, or it gets really dark, because definitely not where a lot of light is. Also just for separate. So that then it makes and like it makes some things dark. It's basically like a correction layer without it being a correction layer. And this is like the little bit. There we go. Now the question is how to do the hair. Usually I start with like the skin, but because like this was so white, I was just like, I don't want to be looking at that so much. And if I ever need to, I can always do this. Get a little bit darker. Sometimes just putting a multiply layer over it, best thing. And you can always dial it back later. That's the one great forgiving thing of it. You can always if you want it not as dark. I don't want to do this. It also does depend, because in a bit I know my dog is gonna be like coming back in here saying like, hey, I want to go out. I want to go for walks. No, not the ads.
Anything about the ads? Anyway. Yeah. Want the hi. Sometimes. And of course. Getting messages. Oh. My mom's getting me food. That's up there. Food is great. Man, I almost forgot about the legs. This will help more in deciding how to shoot. And when in doubt, oh my goodness. Thank you for the follow. I don't think my headset is working anymore. Fantastic. I guess that means that whatever I was listening to is done with. But hello, welcome in. Oh, I love that little, oh, that's a cute little head pat emo. Hello. How are you doing on this wonderful day? How are you doing? I am doing wonderful. I'm doing great. Just making a lovely ghost lady. That's what I'm doing. Who? You can't go wrong with a lovely ghost lady. Ghost ladies be top tier for real. For real. Yes. That is true. Ghost ladies can be pretty great. But yeah. So we're just trying to render her and get her kind of finished. Cause you gotta finish the beautiful ghost lady. Glad you're doing good though. Thank you. Yeah. It's the spooky time of the month. Spooky month, and I wanted to do hot spooky ladies. This is the second hot spooky lady I've done. Pokemon! Yes. And I'm donning, and my little frog companion and I are both donned in our Halloween best. Hot spooky ladies are amazing. Yes. I may be making another one on Wednesday. It depends how I feel. Because Wednesday is like a middle of the day, you know, middle of the week, and it's just it kind of depends on how I feel. I wouldn't. You can beat my ass and I would complain. I mean, yeah. I was actually thinking, like, she gives me really big Morticia vibes. Like Morticia Addams. She gives me really big Morticia vibes. That's what she really gives. You don't know who Morticia is? Morticia Addams? From the not the animated. Screw the animated. No. Nope. I must now find an image of Morticia. Give me an image of Morticia Addams right now. Google, give me an image of Morticia Addams right now. No, I don't want the Wednesday. Wait, like from that one show? Yeah. The Addams, yeah, the Addams family. Yeah. Well, it's called Addams, but yeah, the Addams family. Yeah, like the 1960s. I think, yeah, that was when this came out. The 1960s. Bro, I want her chair. Wait, yeah, I know her. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, Morticia Addams. Yeah, she gives me this ghosty do give me Morticia vibes. Well, I think think it's the black. I think it's the black that she gives me Morticia vibes with. But I think it's also because, like, of the, you know, the sheet and all of that sort of stuff. Like, everything, like, slowly but surely. This ghost got thick thighs and I'm happy about it. Hey. Over here, in my neck of the woods, I always make my women thick. unless somebody commissions me and they don't want their art too thick, you know? But I'm like, no thick? You know, there's... Well, you're already amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I legit have thick thighs. Saves lives stickers. Oh my gosh. I need that sticker. I need a sticker. I do. Actually, the funny thing, I was thinking. So, I like to say how I have thick thighs. I do really do. I do actually have thick thighs. But I'm like supposed to be a storm deity, and I was like, you know what? Thunder thighs are not the reason. Oh my gosh.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand?
Oh my gosh, Dr. Knaggleworth. Hello, we were just talking about how thick thighs save lives. Hi. That's a way to come in. Oh my gosh, all the little frogs. Hello. Hold on, I don't have a mod today. Let me just do this. Real. Here, let me just give you a shout out. If you ever want to see my sticker, let me know. No, I can imagine it. I've seen many varieties of that sticker. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh wait, what the hell? What? Why did... That is weird that it shouted it out 3 times. Okay, there's some bugs happening, but hey, you know what? It's not an art stream without a little bit of scuff. I have 300... You have 300 what? Oh my gosh. It did because I'm a good fella. Yeah, you are. You are a good fella, I guess. On. Yep, I love anime. I do too, but I don't have 300. I would love to have 300 anime stickers, but it's more of I would know what to do. I do need to raid and run. It's bedtime for me. Have to go. Okay, go rest. Go relax. Thank you for the raid. Let me just write. Where is... Oh yeah, my other pencil's over there, that's why. Let me just write down. No. I've been trying to be good. I stick them on everything. My water bottle, PC, everything. Oh my goodness. I do have some actually on my laptop. I'm streaming from a laptop, but I do have some on my laptop. Well, they're not just anime stickers. They're Pokemon and Animal Crossing ones as well. I currently have Sukuna? Yeah, I have Sukuna on mine because I really love Sukuna. I can fix him. No, I'm joking. I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen in a minute, but I need to. I need to watch season 2. I think I finished... No, I didn't even finish season 1. I'm so bad. I haven't been interested in watching much anime recently, but I think like there's a few I'm kind of waiting for to come out and stuff. Like whenever I feel like it. But right now I'm like really into like spooky stuff, but I'm like, I think Jujutsu Kaisen fits in there enough. But yeah.
I do love a lot of anime. I just haven't watched a lot of anime in like a minute. I've actually been reading more manga and I've gone the pipeline of anime to manga reader now. I'm like, oh no, I'm doing that, but I still want to watch anime.
It's don't worry, eventually I'll be starting back on the anime train eventually. It shall be turned to me. But yeah. But actually my mom watches anime with me too. I read so much manga. Yeah. And I watch hella anime. Hey, you know what? That's the best, isn't it? Sometimes you have time for both. It's more of like, I've just been, I don't know, I think I've been just more into like a very much reading kind of mood recently. That's why I haven't been watching much, because like, I want to read a lot. I'm a deep, don't worry, we all are here. You should have. There's a really old clip of me talking about Bible Black. So there's a very old clip of me talking about Bible Black. So if you know what Bible Black is, congratulations. Yeah, I'm not. I know degenerate anime, or you know, certain things. I don't know everything, but I do know enough. I don't know what that is. Good. I'll tell you that much. Good. Okay. Well, actually, the funny thing is, I'm gonna be honest. If you want a degenerate anime to watch around Halloween, Bible Black, unfortunately, is probably one of the best ones. It's one of the worst and one of the best. I will say this much. I think some parts of it have in English. But yeah. There you go. That's my only degenerate side. I will say I'm not a lewd tuber, but I do know certain degenerate animes. But I do try and not talk about them. Oh my god. High School DxD. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that'll put you down the path, won't it? Why? You know what I just realized? Why is it, like, for guys, for the most part, it's either Monster Musume or High School DxD that gets them into anime. Or Evangelion. Evangelion. It's like, if they're like, older, like, Evangelion and Astro Boy. If they're newer, I've noticed that like High School DxD for some reason or Monster Musume is like how they get into anime, and I'm just like, wait. Wait a minute. You want to know what my first anime was? Digimon, because I was 5. That was my first anime. And then later on, I personally went into the treasure trove later on in life, into the more other side. Bert said, I watched it all in one night. I mean, you can binge it in a night. It's doable. It's doable. Yeah. But in non-degenerate anime, my mom and I actually watch anime sometimes together. Not degenerate stuff. No. But we watch like more of like we just finished My Happy Marriage, and we might go into watching Yuri on Ice. She actually did watch the first episode of Yuri on Ice. We have to finish it. But like those are I'm more into like romance and kind of like the fantasy sort of stuff. Every once in a while I pull up
I've seen some of the degenerate stuff because my boyfriend will show me it, or we just watch it together, so. I've never seen those. I'm an action fan. Yeah, you know what? Anime is really great because it has such a wide variety, so. Actually, my boyfriend loves Evangelion, but not for the reasons you think. He likes Evangelion because of the mecha. He likes some mecha animes. And I'm not really much of a mecha person. I don't mind the robots and all of that sort of stuff. I think it's more of like, why is it always just comes down to politics? I'm like, I do. And then, I don't know why. I just, all the stories in mecha animes are always the same to me, and I don't know. And then my boyfriend will be like, but all anime romances are the same. I'm like, yeah, kind of. That's true. I think it's just to each their own. And that's what I love about anime. Anime just is like, to each their own. You watch what you wish to watch. It's like with VTubers. You watch what you wish to watch. Yeah, but I will put this out there right now. I am not much of a lewd tuber, so if you're looking for that, there's many other lewd tubers you can go and find. Not that, but if you want to stay for boobies, you can stay right here. I usually do have to put that out because I do say some things and some people are like, lewd tuber? And I'm like, no. I just say unhinged shit. That's different. That's just me being gremlin. I can like hear my neighbors doing stuff. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Yeah. Actually, a while ago, my boyfriend and I watched Konosuba. This was like a while back. And then yeah, a pretty long while back that we watched that. But I found it very funny. I actually really did find it funny. I kind of liked it. It was funny. I'm trying to like think of like what. Yeah. And then I pulled him along and and then we watched, what was the other one we watched? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah. There's an anime on Netflix that we watched that is, if you're looking for like 90s anime, but like animation of now, look up Bastard. It's on Netflix, so it's not like it's supposed to be like high fantasy, like super dark high fantasy, but it's like I question it a lot. And it does feel that degen itch as well, but it also, it's just weird. It's kind of cringy-ish, but like somewhat in a good way, somewhat in a bad way. I don't know. Honestly, it's like a what is happening kind of anime. So if you want to watch an anime that's like kind of what is going on. It is 18 plus though, so I will say that much. Not too 18, but it's just it just feels like a very 90s anime. It does have action in it, but there's a lot of things I just go, huh? Yeah, it's weird. But
Man, my list for watching certain animes has just gotten longer, and I'm just like, I need to start watching these, but I kind of don't want to yet, because either I'm waiting for, like, most of it to finish, or I am, like, just kind of not interested at the moment. I don't know, I have to get, like, in a mood to watch anime. Well, does anyone else have, like, any favorite animes that they like? Not degenerate ones, just, like, regular. I have to go. Oh. And now, I finally get to the height. This is where some of this comes. Oh, I actually forgot. Make this a little bit darker. Wrong brush. Beauty. There we go. Just pushes the leg a little bit further back. Kind of little bit. The base, or when I white type. yeah, so I gotta go back in. Before I do that, there we go. Oh, there we go. What else? There we go. There we go. Yeah. Mhm. There we go. And that was just the skin. Alright. I think I'm gonna be stopping here because I need to take my dog out before it starts getting a little too dark for me to take her out, because it's been getting darker over here a lot sooner. I would like to finish this, but because we had to go through the sketching stage and all of that sort of stuff, that's why we didn't kind of get to where I would like to be, but it's enough to where I can just render mainly the rest of this. I just have to really do kind of the hair, the face, and just the bodysuit and gloves, which is pretty easy, honestly, now that I have like 2 areas where it kind of shows where kind of light is coming from. And if I need to, I will render this more down. This will probably be posted later or today, or you know, but I will be probably finishing this. It's just like I kind of want to go walk my dog, and then my mom is probably gonna be bringing home food, so there'll be a few things I need to do, and then I'll probably be coming back to this and just finishing it up. And if not finishing it today, it will be finished tomorrow, and it'll be posted up tomorrow. But if you want to go and see any of the rest of the any of the rest of these artworks that I've been doing, the best place to go is I have a link to VGen, which is for commissions, but it actually has a portfolio page as well, and you can just click on the portfolio button, and it will, you don't have to scroll down too far in order to see them. It's just literally one little scroll, and it's right there, and you will see them. You'll know which one is them because it has a Frankenstein drawing I did. But let me just like kind of put these in a lineup. So These are the previous ones that I've done. Then we have Vampire, a Frankenstein, and the creature from the Black Lagoon, which I had to put no-nos. I had to put no-nos on. If you want to go and see the full one, it's on VGen. So it'll be Vampire, Frankenstein, then this one, and then Ghost will be the last one that's up there. Because I am trying to organize them in order, and thankfully I can organize them. So if you're looking for them, that's the order that they'll be in. But yeah, without any further ado, I may just post this up as a work in progress, so you can kind of see it, and then whenever I can complete it, I will complete it. Let me just put this up. And yeah. So without any further ado, let me just switch back over to here. And I'm going to figure out who we're going to raid, because I never know who we're gonna raid until I look up who's streaming. We may raid a friend, because I am a little bit tired. So oh, I don't have my headset on. There we go. Alright, who do we got? We got a few. I know exactly who we're raiding. I was thinking if they're streaming right now, we're raiding this person. And guess what? They are streaming right now. So we're raiding this person. Oh, and she has her spooky. She has a spooky outfit on too. That's so great. I love it. Alright, and who we're raiding? Let me just get the raid channel, the raid message going. And then I will get this going as well. Thankfully it did not do it 3 times. But I do usually put some little, I do usually talk about a little bit of announcements. So, how this week is set up is on Wednesday I might do another art piece. I don't know what I will do. And then and then Friday we're gonna be doing Phasmo, and Saturday we'll be doing more Baldur's Gate. I did play a little bit more off stream, so we've made some more progress. If you want to know what act we're in Act 1 still. We're near the end of Act 1, so if you don't want spoilers, please don't come to that Saturday stream. But if you really don't care and you just kind of want to see how I play through it, we are basically near the end of it, and then we'll probably be moving on to Act 2 by the end of that stream. Probably. I say probably because it depends on how I do things. But if you want to watch Saturday's stream and what we did there, we did some Kentucky Fried Goblins, because of course I decided to blow up the entirety of the goblin camp. So anyways, without any further ado, let me get this raid started, and then I will talk about the last little things that I do have. So first off, I have merch. There is going to be a new upcoming sale going on in literally, I think next week it'll be starting. We do have some new spooky designs for you guys to get. Again, you're not, this is just to help support me as a creator and have me to continue doing things. And you can snag some awesome merch. And I also do have commissions open. Anything that has this little VGen mark by it, which is the little green, it means that the commissions are open on VGen. But other than that, all of these commissions are open on my other site, which is Artistry. So yeah, you can get a lot of different things. Anyways, without any further ado, I would like to say thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for the raids, thank you for the follows, thank you for everything, and thank you for being here. And without any further ado, as I always say, may the winds guide you until next time. Good. Bye, everybody. Oh, wait, did